And I'm Ali.
And we're the heads of the costumes.
So today we're going to be showing you just a few of the costumes that we made for the production.
So one of the costumes that I did was Centaur and Tumnus. And both costumes are relatively similar, except that different fabric. So with the Centaur's costume, I started with a pair of pants, and then from there I used foam, and I cut out more or less the anatomy of a horse, and same with Tumnus, and I just used references like pictures. I used the actual fawn Tumnus from the movie and horses, like their legs, and cut out them based on that anatomy. And then I hot glued it to the pants, and then I saran wrapped the person wearing the pants, and then I cut the saran wrap off to give me where to sew it back up. Like it was more or less a template to put on fabric to cut it out and stuff. And then from there I used the fabric that I bought to put it on the pants, and then I sewed it up. And then I used a wire screw. Okay, I actually used a high heel shoe, but then I put wire screening around to get the roundness of it, and then I used Carbondo over top of it, and then I sanded it off to make it smoother, and I painted it.
So the costumes that I will be telling you about are the two beaver costumes and the witch's costume. So for the witch's costume, we found a wedding dress that we had used in a previous production, and we took the bottom of the dress and we spray painted it with a blue spray paint so that it was really dark at the bottom and it faded a bit as it went to the top. Then we sewed some necklaces into the side to kind of give it like a jewel effect. And for the top, since we cut off the original top, we changed the positioning of it so it would make more of a sleeve look. Then we painted the top of the wedding dress and added a cape to it so that it had the flowing effect of a queen. So for the beavers costumes, we took a old onesie that one of the actors had. Since it was a flying squirrel, it had the shape of a kind of rodent, so we used that as the template for the fabric. So we went to Fabricland and got a ton of fabric.
I hate being here. People are giving me weird looks.
Then when we got back, we put the onesie on and traced out an outline and made tails for it, and there was the beaver costume.
For the tail of the centaur, it's just string, which I went to Walmart and got like knitting string, and then I cut it to a certain length, and I cut a bunch of pieces, and then I tied the pieces by 3, so each were tied together like that, and then I tied groups of 3 together and then kept doing that until they were all tied together. And then I wrapped it in black fabric and hot glued it, and then so that it didn't show shiny fabric, I just tied around rope. That's it for today's video.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe opens April 30th and May 1st.
Tickets are $7 for students and $10 for adults. Bye!